Good evening, everyone. What's up? Just ate a satisfying meal and topped it off with a measly dessert. This is Mr. Hot speaking. Previously, there was a rant on mean dads with Zach Kotalik and Duncan Burden. Today is a rant on crappy cartoons, or shitty cartoons, whatever they call it. And we have a special guest. We have Mermaid Sarah 6, who made a video just a few days ago, so he's back on YouTube now. Spill out your thoughts on those crappy cartoons, or whatever you call them.
Oh man, when it comes to shitty cartoons, man, you know how I am with shitty cartoons, man. There are so many of them nowadays, just so many of them suck.
There have been crappy cartoons even 2000s. There were crappy cartoons, though. I mean, crappy cartoons have always
Oh my god,
existed.
like that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, that's fine. No, you were about to say something, so please speak up.
Oh, I was just about to say, yeah, and, you're right. I mean, even in the '90s, there were shitty cartoons out. I mean, that's around the time that like Dora the Explorer and shit like that started, and you know, that shit melts your kids' brains more so than just letting them watch a cartoon. Let them watch fucking Pokemon. At least Pokemon, you're learning something.
Even that went downhill eventually. I mean, literally everything has
That's
just gone
very true.
downhill.
Even Pokemon didn't go downhill.
Oh, every show that's been kept too long just goes downhill. Like every show's
Yeah,
just bound to fall.
SpongeBob after what was it, 2005?
Yeah,
SpongeBob went downhill.
it went downhill when it got revived. That's how SpongeBob went downhill. Because they brought it back because they needed a cartoon to make Nickelodeon do well, and that was it. Bring back SpongeBob, bam! They were succeeding after that.
Yeah, that's literally like the only reason I ever watched it is like I would watch Nickelodeon for SpongeBob, turn it off once it was over.
That's literally all there even is to watch on Nickelodeon. There's nothing. All it is SpongeBob and sitcoms. That's a poor schedule right there.
And the
SpongeBob,
sad part is like people actually like it.
very few. Everyone seems to think Nickelodeon is the worst channel, but they're all equally bad. Cartoon Network, PBS Kids, Nickelodeon, Disney, all, and what is that one last channel? Crap, Boomerang. They're all as bad as each other. All of them are downhill, each in their own ways, though. And people only think Cartoon Network's any better because of those cartoons. Cartoons don't justify a channel, though. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if the channel is bad, the channel is bad. There's no two ways about it.
a channel. What makes a channel bad is its atmosphere. It's not only shows; it's an atmosphere. Cartoon Network's atmosphere died in 2007. That's what made it die, pretty much. And
For
probably,
me, Cartoon Network kind of died like whenever. Do you remember that? Oh my God, Toonami.
yeah, they don't even air. They air at night now. Doesn't it air just late at night on Adult Swim now?
I think they brought it back, but I can't even remember. I mean, I never watched this stuff. Plus, I mean, not to mention, I work a lot of times in the morning, so like, I have to go to bed at a decent enough time that I can actually wake up. If they're airing Toonami at like freaking 2 or 3 in the morning, who the fuck's gonna be watching it?
Yeah, barely anybody
Like,
even
I
stays
remember
up that late.
Go ahead.
Barely anyone even stays up that late. Why would they air something in the middle of the night? Who even is up that late?
Seriously, that's how I see it, and that's the whole problem is that like no one's up that late at night, and if they are up that late at night, they're most likely not watching cartoons. They're most likely they're doing work or watching something decent. Like if I'm up at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, I'm watching something decent. I'm watching anime. I'm watching, maybe I'm working on my game that I'm designing. Like shit, I have better things to do than watch freaking cartoons that they should be airing in the daytime. At 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's dumb. They shouldn't even be 3 o'clock. Who is even up at 3? There's nobody that's even up at 3 in the morning, except people who have to get to work. That's it. That's so
Yeah,
dumb.
seriously. And like, I remember I remember when I was a kid, when Toonami was like, a brand new thing on Cartoon Network, man. Like, I would come home from school, I'd flip the channel, I'd watch like maybe two or three cartoons, and then it was time for Toonami. Toonami took over like 2 hours of time, maybe even a little bit more than that, and it was awesome. They had like Zatch Bell and oh my god,
I was
they
back
had
in
so many other shows, and I can't even remember all of them. But they had Zatch Bell and a couple others that were like really awesome series, and you know,
they got rid of all of
then they
that
got rid
in
of.
2006, I think. That's sad. They got literally got rid of everything like all at once, and they're just shooting themselves in the foot now.
Now, something else that's shooting a lot of them, a lot of not only the channels and
Sorry, back.
and
Miscommunication.
Verizon was the only. Uh,
Oh, sorry, back. As you were saying,
um, so like not only is it the cartoons that are the problem, or like the station that's the problem, but it's the provider that's the problem as well. There are a lot of otakus in the world. There are a lot of people in America who love to watch anime and would rather, if their computer's not powerful enough for it, they have really no way of watching it online. If you can't stream it, or you can't stream it in a decent quality, it's not worth it. So Verizon had the right idea. They had a Funimation channel. You could watch anime. You could freaking watch it anytime that you wanted, as long as you were paying for their like premium package or whatever to get the Funimation channel. And I love that. Back in like 2010, whenever I had my wisdom teeth taken out, I right before that I had Verizon Fios. I would freaking watch, Salty Ray and Fruits Basket and like all of the really good anime series on Funimation. And, you know, of course, funny as hell, the day that I get my wisdom teeth taken out, we can't afford to pay the bill and they shut it down for us. It's like, of course, the day that I need to be watching something to keep my mind off, like the pain, of course, they get rid of, we can't pay the freaking bill because, like, Verizon is overly expensive. But like, that's the thing is like Comcast and like all of the other, I don't know like what every part of the U.S. has in terms of other than Comcast and Verizon. I think there's like a Warner TV company as well. But regardless, if they would invest in at least something decent, anime, a Funimation channel, then you've got right there some good quality entertainment that a lot more people will watch.
yeah, they don't think of that either.
But I mean, yeah, and in terms of like how shitty the TV series are getting now, we have what? We have Mad, we have
That's gone now. Mad canceled.
Adventure Time, and
That's still on.
oh, they canceled Mad.
Yeah, they canceled that like a few years ago, I believe.
Oh man. Yeah, for a while they had it, but that was basically like the Robot Chicken for the daylight. Like legitimately, that's what that was. I watched it. I got entertainment out of it, especially in the Speak and Swear episode. But I mean, regardless, it's a TV show. It's a cartoon based on a comic. Like that doesn't work. It's like Garfield. Garfield did not work.
Oh,
But they
Garfield's show
took
is
this comic
horrible.
series out of the newspaper. Yeah, and they took a newspaper
Oh, Garfield show.
comic and turned it into a freaking cartoon.
Yeah, Garfield show. Ugh, that show was one of the worst. It was just a complicated show in general. This show came from Canada, but all right, all the characters in that show is cause trouble and not get punished. That's all they do. Like the Gayfield show, and the animation's horrible. It's all CGI, and they look like freaking mouse. They look like a bunch of shapes. The characters just look like shapes. Ugh.
That's pretty much like, oh, how do we draw Garfield? Oh, just draw a circle. He's fat. He's a fat cat.
And he's just a
Here,
troublesome
here's
cat.
Noble.
Ugh. That show is. Thank goodness that show's gone. That show was like from 2008
Actually,
to 2012, wasn't it?
something like that, but it still was horrible. It really was.
The worst part is that they didn't even get punished for screwing around the pets. That's what
I
made
know,
the show
like,
so
seriously,
bad.
I punish my pets if they fuck up.
Oh yeah, the pets were just a bunch of spoiled brats too. Odie and Garfield. Odie was that dog. Odie and Garfield just a bunch
Yeah.
of spoiled brats, and the characters looked like a bunch of mice too.
Dude, speaking of Garfield, though, did you hear that they're making a Garfield Racing 3D for the 3DS?
Really? Is that supposed to be a cool game? Hopefully.
I have no idea, but if it's as bad as the show, which the character models look as bad as the cartoon, yeah, it's probably gonna go downhill real fast. Wow, this is lovely.
That should have not existed. Every spin-off they make. Oh yes, we'll do another rant on spin-offs later on. Oh yeah, you wanted to do a rant on spin-offs later on.
You know what? I mean, we can combine all of this stuff together. It would just make it a lot easier, rather than doing multiple videos. Yeah, let's just string everything together.
Well, let's make this an hour-long video then. My website can do up to an
hour-long sounds good to me.
Yeah, that sounds fine. We'll just do a double rant then. This will be a rant on spin-offs and crappy cartoons.
Yeah, it is what it is, really.
Yeah, spin-offs don't even work at all. Every spin-off has just failed, despite that some of them have fan bases. They fail.
And
Scooby-Doo spin-offs.
And see, this is exact. Oh, go ahead.
Scooby-Doo spin-offs are the worst spin-offs in history. Ugh. That series just needs to die.
The Scooby-Doo series was great the way it was in the 70s.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
They've completely ruined it. The Mystery Incorporated
was the worst.
Which is that most recent one, horrible, absolutely dreadful.
And people were getting punished for no reason at all either. People got punished for the lamest crap, and then there were other characters who were even get punished for hurting people, which makes absolutely no sense at all. That was what made that's what made it get a bad grade, and yet people thought this was a great cartoon. Seriously, how on earth? Even a Looney Tunes show was better than that. Ugh. Its animation is different.
Really is.
Why did the animation have to change? They shouldn't have changed the animation at all. And the B-School Scooby-Doo looks even worse. The animation looks horrible for the new Scooby-Doo series. And then
a lot of it, like the coloring of it isn't good. Like some of them are like way too bright when they don't need to be or when they shouldn't be, and others are dark when they should be a lighter scene. Like it's awful. It really is. Like they were not thinking when they did any of the design work on it.
No, they weren't. Not even the slightest.
It's like how is this dark cave brightly lit with just this little flashlight that you have, or a lantern. How is it this brightly lit? And then how is this so dark when there's like two lights right there? Right above them. There's like two lights. How is it so dark? Like, could you not get something simple right? Lighting is probably the easiest part.
It should have not been created, period. This spin-off, why are they in high school? We don't care about what they're doing in high school. Why on earth do they have to make a series of them in high school?
Well, it's just like with that, what was it? a pup named Scooby Doo. They're showing what they do in school,
Oh, that was
and as
horrible.
kids, like no one cares.
Puppet
First
Scooby
of
was
all, we
garbage.
already know the story from the '70s that was that they met up. Yes, we understand they met up in school, but they didn't form Mystery Inc. as fucking kids. They formed it as teenagers.
Oh, that was as bad. A puppet named Scooby Doo was horrible. Literally, who cares about it? A bunch of dumb kids solving mysteries. Who cares about that stuff? It's a question.
Seriously.
So why not? Every Scooby spinoff was horrible. They should have never even made any spinoffs of this show at all.
Oh man, and don't even get started on the fucking live action shit.
And we had to see that in a movie theater a long time ago. Ugh, don't even remember anything. It was just a mess. The live action stuff is just a complete mess of that show. It was just forgettable, and like the characters weren't even. It was like Barney's Great Adventure all over again.
Seriously.
I felt like you were watching Barney's Great Adventure at the same time.
It's like watching that while being shat on.
Yeah, farted on. That's what it sounds like.
It's like, here's your crappy movie. Would you like some shit to go along with it?
Yeah.
No? We're gonna get it anyways. And for just an hour and a half of your life, you've been shat on.
Pretty much.
And no matter how many times you shower, you can't get it off.
Ugh. That movie was like back in the early 2000s, wasn't it? The Scooby-Doo live-action 90-minute film. Ugh.
Yeah, it was just retarded. It really was.
I don't even remember the plot. The plot was so forgettable. The plot wasn't even memorable at all. Ugh.
It was 2002 that the first one came out.
Oh yeah, I think I saw it a long time ago. I don't even remember anything from it.
It was awful. It really was.
Ugh, don't want to see that again. It was so horrible.
I've watched it a couple of times, but only because there was literally nothing better on TV, and I didn't have a DVD player, so I had no way of watching movies. So it's like, well, it's either watch a crappy movie or be bored for an hour with my mind on how bad I feel. Let's just watch this crappy movie.
Yeah, same here. Ugh.
But, speaking of spinoffs, let's get off the subject of Scooby-Doo spinoffs. Let's go to Nickelodeon spinoffs, because they're still on a series of spinoffs.
Wait, what has Nickelodeon done for spinoffs, actually?
That's actually what I was telling you in our messaging on Facebook. So, in terms of spinoffs, they started with, in the 90s, All That. And that was a great show. It was improv. It was funny. It was actually a decent show. Then they went into Amanda Bynes got her debut on All That, and they gave her a spinoff show, The Amanda Show. It went from The Amanda Show to having Drake Bell and Josh Peck in it, and Drake Bell and Josh Peck got signed for their own spinoff, Drake and Josh.
Yeah, that was popular back in the day.
And then from Drake and Josh, they had Miranda Cosgrove, who got her own spinoff, iCarly.
The little girl. Yeah, I remember the little girl. That's who she was.
And then around the time that Drake and Josh had come out, Zoe 101 had come out. So this is a totally separate set of spinoffs. However, they link together in the end of it. So you go from Drake and Josh and Drake and Josh and Zoe 101 to iCarly, and iCarly led into, what was it? You know what, I'm going to go back to our messages real quick, because I forgot.
What was it? What was it? Oh yeah, iCarly turned into freaking Sam and Cat, whatever?
No. iCarly went into, Victorious. And then from Victorious, it went into Sam and Cat, and then now it's just whatever they have now. So it's gone spinoff.
It seems like when you're watching Disney, it seems like everything is a rip-off of each other. It just feels like the same show over and over again when you're even watching Disney shows, which they all pretty much are.
Oh, that's how they make their money. Is they're like, you know what? How many times can we reuse the plot and use different characters?
Reuse the actor.
That's exactly what they do.
Oh yeah, and reuse the actor. They just reuse the actors over and over again. They need to.
That too. They'll do that. Here, you're going to be in this role now. You're going to be in that role, and you're going to be the lead. But I was the lead last time. You're going to be the lead again. But I don't want to be the lead. Well, too bad. You're going to be the lead. Okay.
So that's how the spin-offs work. They're doing that now because they're so desperate that they have to keep spinning off everything they do. They have to reuse characters all the time now. They just reuse every character they create. They have every actor they have. Like, all right, we got to do something. We don't have money to hire new actors. Hang on, let's just make these actors just do whatever they can do, whatever they're capable of, and fine. If it sucks, it sucks. At least we're getting views. The end. And little kids will watch it. That's probably what they're thinking now.
Exactly, and for them it's working because little kids will watch it. But the people who actually understand the concept of what they're doing, spin off after spin off after spin off, it is entirely pointless, and it's a surprise to us as the adult populace who understands this concept. What the hell? How are they getting all these views? It doesn't make sense. Why would all of these kids watch that shit? It's retarded. It really is.
All the people. It's targeted to 1-year-olds now. It's targeted to preteens. Every spin-off. It's just to entertain little kids. They're desperate enough. Oh, we got to make the kiddies happy, and then they'll turn off the TV. It's on the TV, and bam, we struck gold. Let's just put this on, get it over with, and we'll just keep it as long as we can, and bam, we'll satisfy the kids, and we'll have made our money. I think that's what it's about now.
Pretty much, but I'm gonna be the one dick that says to my kids, "Yeah, you're not watching that crap." I would make sure to restrict every single cartoon channel, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Boomerang, set a freaking passcode on the cable box that says, "Yeah, you ain't watching that crap. Give them the fucking good stuff." Discovery Channel, Travel Channel, Science Channel. Give them the freaking knowledge that they need to survive. Not this bullshit. Hey, where's Boots? He's over there. Where? Click on him. He's right there. The fucking mouse cursor appears like that's actually how real life works.
Now they have a Door spin-off, Door and Friends now.
Yeah, Door already had a spin-off before that. And that was that other shitty show.
Go Diego Go was for 2005 to 2009. Didn't really see it at all.
It was as retarded, if not more retarded, than Dora the Explorer. They basically said, hey, we need a Dora the Explorer that's more geared towards the male children, because Dora is geared more towards the female children. Or maybe it was the opposite.
Yeah, and they're desperate. They literally just need to make spin-offs. They have Dora and Friends now. Now, Dora and Friends, she's 10 years old. At least she looks more attractive. That's about it. And they sing too many silly songs. And now she's with friends. They didn't even explain how on earth she even got those friends from the city. They didn't explain. Thank goodness Boots, the map, and the backpack are gone. But they didn't explain where they went. They didn't explain how the heck she met those kids. Nothing was explained, and bam, a new show's introduced right there. That's the problem with the Looney Tunes show. They didn't like show how all the characters just got to a neighborhood and lived there, and how they paid for all this stuff. They didn't explain that at all, and they made it so modern that it felt like this time has passed like that, and these guys should be old. Ugh. Like, they don't explain enough. The spin-offs just don't explain anything.
Well, that's because they're getting lazier and lazier when it comes especially to storytelling. Like, they don't really care.
Like, they're putting some effort into the Looney Tunes show's has been over for almost 2 years. They put some effort. Some episodes were actually okay, but the last episodes were just terrible. And this show didn't end well at all. They made a few okay episodes, but that was about it. And their shows are even worse than that. I mean,
there's so many worse shows out there.
Old cartoons,
even ones that didn't ever get spin-offs, or at least not yet. But
there's gonna be spin-offs eventually of some shows, perhaps. I mean, they're gonna do a spin-off of Jessie from Disney. They plan on doing a spin-off of Jessie from Disney, which is probably bound to fail.
I mean, in our respects, it would fail, but for a kid who's like freaking 5, 6 years old, it's epic win. It's perfect. It's amazing and all that shit. It's like go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Let's see what. Yeah, spin-offs. Well, there were shows copying SpongeBob, like Fanboy and Chum Chum copied SpongeBob. You remember Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island from Kids WB? That copied SpongeBob. Scaredy Squirrel from Canada. SpongeBob with Logan characters. Sanjay and Craig, Breadwinners, those all copied SpongeBob. I think a few other shows might have. I think that's about
Yeah,
it. All those shows just copied SpongeBob because they were probably desperate. We need to just make the characters like SpongeBob characters. They probably thought, and bam. And the Squidward character is always the most likable to most people, probably.
it was. Fanboy and Chum Chum, I could not stand to watch that show. It was like having nails stabbed into my eyes every couple of seconds, and then their voices were so freaking irritating. It was like someone just loaded jackhammers into my head and just like started pounding. It was assaulting my fucking eardrums.
So it was as bad as like Barney and Sesame Street. Ugh, Sesame Street and Barney were some of the. Why is Sesame Street even still on the air?
Seriously, that's been airing since what, the 50s, the
69.
60s?
Seriously, can't Sesame Street just end already?
Like, how many more episodes can they possibly make that are actually new? They've probably used all of their material.
Yeah, they keep just coming up with. It's like Thompson Tank Engine just coming up with way too many characters, which is true. Thank goodness Barney ended. We'll talk about those maybe in a different videos if we run out of time. We'll see how much time we have left after talk about more spin-offs, but some shows, not all, a few shows did copy SpongeBob. Spin-offs, there's been spin-offs for a lot of shows. There's been spin-offs for like, well, the Looney Tunes show, this first spin-off, there are all these Pokemon. There were a few Ben 10 spin-offs. There were Pokemon spin-offs. There were spin-offs on Kids W. Remember Shaggy and Scooby Get a Clue? That was a weird spin-off. That was just weird. It wasn't as bad as Mystery Inc. If you thought it was, it's your opinion, so that's respectable. They didn't explain how the heck Shaggy and Scooby-Doo got this mansion being bossed around by their uncle, Albert, whoever he is, and how they left the gang. It's cool that they're living alone in peace, but they didn't explain how the heck they even got that position. They didn't explain it, just introduced it out of nowhere. Like, how on earth did that even come to be?
Yeah, if they don't explain it, it makes life a lot more difficult.
Teen Titans,
they should really explain that shit.
Teen Titans Go, there's nothing to explain because it is just Teen Titans. It's just Teen Titans and Teen Titans. There's nothing to explain. It's already been explained.
I mean, while that is true, I mean, what they should be explaining is, why they did it in chibi artwork, why they, fucked up, why they made it a piece of shit. The original Teen Titans, amazing series. I used to watch it every night. I would watch it every time a new episode came out. It was fantastic. The original was great. Had a good story, good plots. It made everything work. The Teen Titans Go looks like crap. The voice actors are all wrong. The personalities of the characters modern. Are like a brick wall.
They're very modern because the Cyborg sounds like a cool black rapper. That's pretty much what Cyborg is. And then Beast Boy's just a dumb whiny kid. Whatever else. Robin's just schizophrenic, you could say. If that's even the right word.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And, well, at least Raven, well, no, Starfire at least has an attractive voice. The voice actor's not hot, but Raven could be a little bit attractive in real life. I mean, Starfire, Raven's just Raven. This isn't even the worst of the spin-offs, though. Scooby-Doo spin-offs are far worse than these.
True, but I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, Teen Titans Go just ruined everything. I mean, it's no longer like I was watching an episode of it. Actually, I watched a couple of them, and like, there's really no plot. Like, I don't see the story anymore. I
It's too
see,
boring.
they're making it like they're children and they're they have, a little bit of money. They go to a freaking,
They act like children. They actually do act like
restaurant and hang
children.
out. Like, there you go. There's your plot. They go freaking eating French fries for an hour at a restaurant. Oh, hey, show's over.
They act like kids. They act like kids. I feel like they just act like kids more now. They're not acting like adults would. It's cool that they're doing
They're not
stuff.
even acting like teens anymore.
They're
Like,
just acting
at
like
least the original
10-year-olds.
kept it true to the name. Teen Titans. This
Like
is more
Teen
like
Titans.
fucking 10-year-old Titans.
Yeah, let's see other spin. Oh yeah, there's Superhero Squad. Ugh, didn't see it. They look like midgets. The characters. There was remember Legion of the Superhero from Kids WB? That was just a spin-off of all those characters. Ugh. There was
I
all
never
those Tom and
watched it.
Jerry spin-offs. There was like the Tom and Jerry Tales, the Tom and Jerry Show. There were a bunch of Tom and Jerry spin-offs even before those.
A lot of the older Tom and Jerry spin-offs, though, were not horrible. They weren't good. They were never as good as the original, but they were not horrible.
Tom and Jerry Tales was completely hit and miss.
It definitely was hit and miss on that one.
I mean, there were 2 episodes. There was the one about the eggs, that was kind of funny, and then there was the one about the rocket, the jetpack, that was funny. Tom just laughing at Spike and Jerry. But the ones are just like Squidward getting beat up. Like, remember when Tom was told not to feed the animals, if you've seen that episode? Then he tries to stop Jerry, and Jerry gets him in trouble, and then the animals act like a bunch of jerks because they're not following the rules, and then Spike tells him it's forbidden to feed the animals. That even made people angry even when they were little kids, probably. It was so bad. Ugh.
I don't remember watching that one, but then again, I so rarely watched like the Tom and Jerry Tales and the Tom and Jerry Show. I never really watched that stuff.
The Tom and Jerry Show is
really watched the original.
Heck. All Tom and Jerry Show was the Tom and Jerry and Spike and his Pike, that little baby dog. They're just living. We don't even know where they live. They either live at a science lab, at Rick and Ginger's house, either at a witch's house, or they're on their own, etc. And it keeps showing the freaking legs of the humans. They won't show the face, but they show the legs, and then that's all they do. And then they have voices, and they're trying to keep Tom and Jerry the way it was by just not even showing the faces at all. And then
basically what they're trying to do in terms of like the humans is they're trying to do similarly to what they do in Cow and Chicken, which it worked for that show. It kept the mystery of who are they and why are their kids farm animals. Why are all of the things the main characters farm animals, but yet the humans are just a pair of legs.
Which is questionable. Exactly. Ugh. But let's see. Yeah, these. Oh, what else is there? Oh, there may be a few more spin-offs, like with all SpongeBob rip-offs and all those. Yeah, that was a nice point you made about the spin-offs. Nickelodeon just using the same, and Disney just using the same actors for every new show to just save them money.
Yeah, because they're like, hey, well, we're going to upgrade you to a lead role in the next show that we make. It's basically, in a sense, it's like getting a promotion.
Sitcoms are just too kiddie. Like, the relationship's just kissing. There's never nudity in anything. They just make it too kiddie. Sitcoms are just they're always just too kiddie. They never take it to a high level. They never take it to the level where people are naked from each other and showering from each other. They just keep it to like the kiddie level, just like all the kids' movies. They need to take risks sometimes. They can't do it with children, but they can do it like people that are old enough. They just don't take risks at all in those. They just make it too kid-friendly and not adult-friendly at all.
Well, they need to make it more towards a generalized audience. Maybe make everything to around about a level of like, you want people between the ages of like, you want anyone to be able to enjoy it. So you like what a lot of the shows do is they hide sexual content into the show, and the adults and the teenagers will get it. The kids are like, what does that mean?
They're
And
not
it's
supposed
like,
to know what it
don't
means.
tell them, don't tell them.
We don't
You know,
like they could show
like
nudity. There's nothing wrong with that. And yeah, those
like
actors are old
uh,
enough to be naked. Why aren't those actors are old enough to be naked by now? They're 20. Some of these actors are already in their 20s. They could be shown naked. It wouldn't do a difference at all. I mean, they should like. Well, the kids aren't supposed to know about it, but the love is just. I mean, they interact. Why did they even hire hot actors if we're not going to see them nude? Though that's the question. That's just pointless then, literally. But
seriously.
ugh, spin-offs just they should just spin-offs just end up failing usually because they're just out of ideas. Spin-offs are just the people are just out of ideas who make spin-offs. That's probably why they just fail. And like they people, it's hard to make a cartoon with one people. They have a group of people like think about what to do. Oh yeah, this idea may work because we don't know what else to do, so we'll just execute this idea. And thank goodness some of the sitcoms just. I mean, the yeah the yeah, all the spin-offs. There have been Yu-Gi-Oh spin-offs. Nobody even talks about those at all. There have been Sonic spin-offs. There have been ugh, Winx Club got freaking revived on Nickelodeon.
And I know we talked about this in a personal discussion. We didn't like do a video
Oh no,
on
we
it.
didn't.
So that's something I'd actually like to touch on in this video, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Is
of course we
the
can.
Winx Club update.
Yes, of
So
course we can touch it. That's fine.
so let me start off with the story of how I actually like learned about Winx Club. So you already know this, but this is just for the viewers.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, I had recently gotten a computer, and I was, online quite a bit. I learned about a couple of different anime series. One in particular was Tokyo Mew Mew. Now, this has, you may think it has absolutely nothing to do with Winx Club, but let me get to the part of the story. So, when I learned about Tokyo Mew Mew, I had learned that they had brought it to the United States, and I was like, hey, they brought it to the U.S., but they gave it a different name. So they gave it the name of Mew Mew Power in the United States. So I would flip through the channels on my TV to see like what time it was going to come on and what channel it was on. Well, I found out that like 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays on WB Kids, I think it was, I would it was there. It was listed, Mew Mew Power. Yeah, it would list the episode, the plot, and everything in the description. So I was like, sweet, I can, watch. I could watch Mew Mew Power, 8 o'clock in the morning. So I would legitimately pull an all-nighter to do this. So the Friday, I would get off school, I'd get my homework done, sit down at the computer, do whatever I could to stay awake the whole night. So in the morning, I would like pass out around like 6 or 7 in the morning, and I'd wake up right after Mew Mew Power. But that's when Winx Club would come on. So I was like, oh man, I missed the freaking Mew Mew Power again. And it's like, oh hey, what's this show? It's like half naked girls. Okay. Like that's legitimately what Winx Club came across as to me. Is like, oh hey, look, half naked girls. I wonder what this is about.
That was like 2006 too, I think.
Yeah, that was around like 2005, 2006, and a lot of them back then were even still reruns. It wasn't even like new episodes every week. It was new episodes to me, of course, but it wasn't new episodes. It was far from it. They were just re-airing stuff that was originally aired, 10 years ago in freaking Nickelodeon. But anyways, I would end up watching that every Saturday instead of Mew Mew Power because I would pass out for a couple hours and wake up to the Winx Club opening theme, which was actually really catchy, by the way.
Oh yeah, it was.
And I can't remember. Did they keep the opening the same for the new one, or did they change that?
I'm not sure. I only saw bits and pieces of the new one. It went downhill though, pretty quick.
It really did. So what I liked about the old one was they kept everything consistent. It looked like the art style stayed the same no matter what transformation they were in. The visuals were good, and it actually, had a good story. It didn't feel rushed. Um, However, when it came to the updated one that we got recently, or not really recently, like 2012, I think, you know, when we got the re-release of it, it felt rushed. The art style was okay, at first. Within the first two seasons, the art style was, it went from, okay, I like this art style, they kept it close to the same, but updated it, and made it look, higher quality. Fantastic. It went from that to, what the fuck am I looking at? Like,
Ugh, it went down. They should have never revived it to Nickelodeon. Like, why would they do that? Like, Johnny Test should have not gone on Cartoon Network. It was okay when it first came on. Then it just got abused. I mean, they were putting some effort into it, but they literally were desperate enough to make more and more episodes of it.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is like not only did the Winx Club update, feel rushed, but it was rushed. I mean, within the first season, you're getting like, further like it felt rushed, and they felt like they had to add way too much to it.
You don't want to do that.
So
don't mess the series up by adding too many one-dimensional characters. It always fails. That's a lesson learned.
And they gave the characters better personalities. You got to see a little bit more of their personal lives within like the first couple of seasons. I only watched up to like midway through season 3, and I was like, "Fuck this! I'm done." I gave up on it. I completely and totally gave up on it. So I was watching all the way up through there. Whenever they got their new power up in season 3, and I saw the art style for it, I was like, nope, that's it. I'm done. I quit. Fuck you. Fuck this. I watched the previews for some of the movies, and they show off the new power ups in those, and I'm like, watching these commercials and the previews for it, and I'm like, the art style is even worse than the last one. It's like the next season makes me appreciate the last season that I hated. It blows my mind how bad they did that, and then they did it for like 6 seasons. After season 3, the original ended. The original had 3 seasons. That's it. 6 seasons, 6, maybe 7 seasons of the new one. That's no, and like 7 or 8 movies. That's even worse.
They're just desperate enough that they keep certain series, like the Fairly Odd Parents. They just kept it because they're probably desperate.
Yeah, there were 7 seasons for the updated Winx Club.
Whoa,
7 freaking seasons.
That's too many seasons. They should
Seriously.
never do that. They probably were desperate. They did that to Johnny Test too. It's probably still going on even today.
It would not surprise me because it was still going on. Like last year when I had cable, it was still new episodes. And actually, I've been researching stuff the whole time that we've been doing this discussion. So let's go to, let's see if that's even still on the air.
It's sad.
It's been on air since 2005.
Yeah, that was when kids. That's when we were little. We were both like young kids still.
Yeah, seriously.
We're both adults now. I mean, we both used to love those shows, but we were younger back then. That's probably why we liked them so much.
There are 7 seasons of Johnny Test, and it is still going on.
Oh my! It's not on Cartoon Network pulled it off finally, but still in Canada.
That's crazy. It's still going on even today. My God, like what the hell? How many times can you rehash the same ideas? Like, I hate to say it, SpongeBob has worn out its welcome. That's exactly what it's done. They've overused all of their good content, and then now it's just all of the shitty ideas that didn't make it to the first couple of seasons. that's how I feel about the series. As a whole, it is a great series, but when you look at it from the perspective of season by season, it went from Patrick Eustace, really funny dimwit, to now he's like serious and sarcastic and still dumb as brick.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like they were supposed to end that in 2013, 2014. They were supposed to end it after the what was it, the Nickelodeon award show, the Kids Choice Awards. They were supposed to, stop it after that, and they're still going with it.
Oh yeah.
It just blows my mind. They keep rehashing the same shit. And that's what it is, dude. That's legitimately what it is. It is shit. It's no longer a cartoon. It's no longer a show. It is rotten shit.
Oh yeah.
Let's go check out some of the artwork. I'm actually like researching some of the artwork for Winx Club because I want to see like how bad they made it up in season 7. Oh my fuck. Dude, go to Google
Oh,
Images and search Winx Club season 7.
oh,
Oh my
really?
fuck. God, they completely annihilated the series. When I was a kid, no joke, when I was like 14 or so, was when I actually started watching this. And that was with the original series. That wasn't with the update. With the update, I was like 18 when it first aired. Anyways, with the original, I was able to draw, what the fuck is her name? Stella. I drew her freehand. Best drawing I ever did freehand. And I was 14 at the time. And I drew her just in her normal form, in a regular human form, because I didn't feel like going into all the detail of adding wings and shit. It just didn't make sense. But anyways, I was able to draw better than this artwork looks for season 7. That's sad. That is seriously sad.
Whoa. That is sad. That's really sad.
Like, nowadays, I no longer even try to draw like stuff like Winx Club or stuff like that. I've actually moved on to like the only character I draw anymore is Rosalina.
Oh yeah, I mean you get tired of it eventually.
I'll definitely get tired of it eventually, but I mean, like, it's the first thing I managed to. I found a picture one day when I was on Facebook. Someone posted this really awesome picture of Rosalina and Lola, and I was like so psyched from seeing this that I just pulled out a pencil and paper, started trying to draw it, and it was literally like my best drawing I'd ever done. I did this back in like 2012. So I did this drawing and I actually laminated it and hung it on my wall, because it looks fantastic. I've gotten a lot of people commenting, when I brought in to have it laminated to work, because that's where I take like everything. I'm like, you know what? I already know this place. I trust it. Plus, if I don't trust someone to do the work, I work here. I can do it myself. I mean, I've drawn a couple of different versions of her, and shit. I can still draw better in the freaking season 7 Winx Club.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they shouldn't do that. They should quit making spin-offs.
They should definitely put making spinoffs, or at least put someone with our mindset in charge of making the spinoff. Because we at least know what would appeal better to people of not only the kids but to people of all ages. You can still air it on a kids network, but you can show your potential of growing outside of your box.
Oh yeah.
Like I understand they're afraid to do that kind of stuff because they might get like angry parents after them, but it is what it is. You have to take risks, especially in the line of business of being a TV station. You have to take risks.
Oh yeah, you do.
I think they just continue rehashing the same ideas with different characters and stuff like that. They just keep doing this because they're afraid to go outside of the box. Don't be afraid. Color outside of the lines. Broaden your horizon. Make something appealing.
Yeah, they need to. They're not taking the risks.
They're not going to have a station anymore. They're going to go just like all the cartoons have.
Yeah, really, they need to work on what they're doing. They shouldn't just like quit and not take risks. They don't try anything new ever.
Yeah, like I mean, heck, when like even on most of our YouTube channels, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to take risks when it comes to trying new things.
Oh yeah.
And you can think of YouTube as like a TV station. This is basically like we run this TV station. Our channel is our TV station. People come there for our content because we deliver content that appeals to them, and we're not afraid to take a risk to broaden our horizons and get more people who like different content. They might not like rant videos, but then they come and check out something non-rant related on one of our channels, and then we rant in the middle of the video,
Oh
and
yeah.
now they're instantly like, hey, this person's rants are actually good. They do it in an entertaining way. They give decent delivery as well as they give good reasons behind it, good objections. They actually know what they're doing when it comes to a rant. And to really get the idea of you have to give it a personal touch. You can't just give it a title of rant and call it a rant and just yell profanity. Fuck this. Fuck that. This is terrible. But you're not giving a reason why it's terrible.
Oh yeah, people are terrible at ranting nowadays. They just abuse the word like all the time now.
I'll admit, when I first started doing rants, I wasn't the best at it. I was definitely not cut out to be someone who does rants. But over time, the practice was what I became. I learned it, I took it and made it a part. Rather than like fuck it, I don't exactly like. I don't need to talk to one. Like, why am I gonna just tell one person about the problems with a TV show? Why would I just complain to one person about it who can't even do anything when I can complain? Like, you can rant on YouTube. People will watch it. People will agree with it. Shit, you might even end up getting the TV station themselves to agree with you, or to comment on the video, or to watch it in general. And that's the thing is doing something like that. You've got more options. You have a wider horizon. Like if you have like a boyfriend or a girlfriend, significant other, you can rant to them about your bad day. Fuck that. Go into YouTube, rant that shit out, get it off your chest the way that you want to get it off your chest. Just don't break it.
Oh
or break something. I don't care.
yeah, that'll work.
But that's exactly what I do, and I know it's been a long ass time since I've uploaded a rant video, and I've been meaning to make one, and it's just like I'm either never in the mood, or I just don't have the time.
Oh yeah, you've been busy with work though. You're saving up for college.
Yeah, this is bullshit. Today I talked to my manager because I just interviewed a couple of days ago for a promotion, and I just talked to my manager today and found out that I'm not getting the promotion, because I'm trying to jump from the bottom of the food chain to mid-range manager, and that just doesn't fly in
Oh
retail.
no.
You have to start at the bottom and work your way up. But what I find stupid though is they don't even let me apply for it in the first place. Why are you going to let me apply for something that you're guaranteeing me to not get?
That's dumb.
Just don't even let me come in for the interview. I mean, I spent probably $10-15 in gas to get to this other store because I was going to transfer from my current store to a store that's further away, to work as a manager. Why are you going to give me the runaround and say, oh yeah, you can come out and interview for it if I'm guaranteed to never get the job until I get supervisor experience at a low range supervisor level? It doesn't make sense.
Oh, it
Don't let
doesn't.
me apply for it then.
Yeah, it's dumb. People ever think in a society ever.
I like the way that the store manager handled it because that store didn't progress. That store looked within the company before looking outside of the company. Whereas the location that I work for, we do it ass backwards. We look for both at the exact same time, which you're guaranteed outside of the company. You're almost guaranteed to find someone who's either got prior manager experience or like a higher level of education. Like that fucking degree even actually makes a difference.
Yeah, really.
But, in all seriousness, that's why I got overlooked the last time I went in for a promotion, which was a low-level supervisor position, because that person had a fancy degree from 4 years of graphic design. I can do everything that this person can do, and then some, because I already know the job. I'm not going to be asking a million and one questions on how to do something. I'm going to take the initiative to say, fuck it, I'm doing it this way. If it's the wrong way of doing it, get on my ass about it later, but for now, it's just the right way of doing it.
People are so dumb in this society too.
And there's another one of the problems right there. It's like, as society grows older, the brain isn't growing old with that person. It's like regressing back to being, a 4-year-old that's either always asking questions or rather when there's Vista that's always asking questions. Because it asks more questions than 4-year-old. But in all seriousness, we're growing from a society that used to be really smart, had the means of doing things, and now look at the people who actually have a lot of people who actually have brains are using them wrong. I mean, they're using them for the wrong things, like freaking hackers. You have this amazing ability to hack into technology and get around security. You have this amazing skill set of knowing what you're doing when it comes to programming and code. Why are you wasting your time on doing the wrong things for you? Back in the 90s when the internet was still pretty new, yeah, you had to worry about spam websites, but the people actually had to pay for that shit. Now they don't even have to pay anything, and they can hack into your computer, steal your banking information, steal this and steal that, and generally cause harm. While sitting at home, and they're not getting paid for it. But
Oh no.
they're technically getting paid because they're stealing your money. And that's bullshit. You have the ability to learn programming to such an extreme that you are able to hack someone. Why are you using that for the wrong purposes. Use it for the right purposes. There is a right way to hack and a wrong way to hack. The wrong way to hack is the bad way of doing it. You hack someone for a nefarious purpose, to steal their information, to go down a path of being a freaking criminal. You can do hacking in a good way as well. You can hack someone's computer, leave them a fucking good note. Shit. For God's sakes, leave them a note saying that there's a hole in their security and they should do something to fix it.